YouTube and Snapchat and Rumblers. Shake your tits and swing your dicks. You made it to another installment of the Friday Wrap-Up. How lucky are you? Well, before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. You know what? Today was a beautiful day. It's almost like 70 degrees outside. It got me feeling that little summer vibe. So, naturally, when the warm weather hits, what's the first thing we want to drink? Tequila. That's right. So, you know what? Everybody goes towards that, their tried and true tequila cocktail, the margarita. Not your boy. I introduced to you last year the Paloma, which I don't know why I was fucking ignorant of it for all these years. So that's kind of what I went with today, but not just... Now, Paloma is a very simple cocktail. It's tequila, grapefruit soda, lime juice. And I've made it that way, and it's delightful. But I wanted to take a little bit more of a fresh approach today. So, of course, I had to fucking overcomplicate it. So, without further ado, I made a fresh Paloma. So what I did was I took an entire ruby red grapefruit and I squeezed the juice out of it. I squeezed the juice out of one lime, 2 shots of tequila, about a half a tablespoon of simple syrup, stirred it all up over some ice, topped it off with a little club soda. So here's my version of a Paloma. It's a nice fresh version. I garnished it with a little grapefruit peel and a lime. So as I load to drink up and be somebody. Oh, that's good. That is a nice, refreshing cocktail. Perfect for brunch. Perfect for happy hour. Perfect for any fucking time of the day. I mean, to quote Johnny Depp recently, isn't happy hour any hour? So, oh my God, fucking Friday could not come fast enough this week. It has been, Jesus Christ, this has been a fucking week like you can't even believe. Okay, so just to give you the Reader's Digest version of what I've been dealing with over here. Last Thursday, Olivia, the inspiration for the character, Marie Baron, my own dear sainted mother, I guess she was feeling neglected, like she wasn't getting enough attention. She decided she needed another little vacation in the hospital. Now, don't worry, she's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with her. Here's what happened. Okay, so last Thursday she fell. She says she fell. She was bending over to pick something up and she rolled backwards. So she probably fell maybe about a half a foot. So, naturally she says she broke her hip. So she said she fell in the kitchen and she managed to scoot her way into the living room. So I don't know, for some reason on my way back from work, I figured, let me just stop and see what's going on over there. No inkling that she fell. So I opened the door, I walk in the house, I find her sitting on the floor. I said, what are you doing? She says, I fell. I said, you fell? When'd you fall? She said, I don't know, about 2:30. Now, this is about 5, 6 o'clock. I said, what the fuck? You don't call? I didn't want to bother you. This is the person who'll bother me for liver, if liver is on sale. Okay, he'll call me frantic. Oh, liver's on sale. You fall on the floor. They don't want to call. Can you imagine? Okay. So, fast forward. I said, all right, no, she's taken a spill before. This is nothing fucking new. I'm not exactly a slouch, even though she's dead weight. I usually pick her right up, and she's fine. I said, all right, let me pick you up. No, I broke my hip. Now, my mother's a wimp, okay? A hangnail, she needs to be hospitalized for fucking 6 weeks, okay? I'm not being mean, it's a fact, all right? So I said, you broke your hip. Now, if she really, in reality, broke her hip, 1, she'd be laying on the floor in the kitchen. She wouldn't have been able to move. And 2, she would have passed out from the fucking pain. I says, you broke your hip? And she goes, yeah, I think I broke my hip. So as she's telling me that, I'm moving her leg. And she had no idea. I says, are you sure your hip's broken? I said, because I've been kicking you in the fucking leg for the last 3 minutes. I says, okay, all right, stop with the acting. I says, your hip ain't broken. Okay? Now, my mother's got arthritis in one of her knees. It's an old pain, whatever. So I said, yeah, let me pick you up. So I go to pick her up, and she starts screaming my hip. Okay, fine. You want? Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. I need an ambulance. Call an ambulance. I says, you understand what's going to happen when I call an ambulance, right? I says, they're going to take you to the hospital. You're going to be there about, 3-4 days. She says, no, I need an ambulance. Now, my mother loves to go to the hospital. Just so you guys understand, during COVID, I had to stop her 5 fucking times from calling ambulances for nothing. Okay? She had a headache once for 2 days. She wanted to go to the hospital. I said, stop it. So, long story short, I call an ambulance, they come, and she goes, maybe you guys could just stand me up. I says, oh, no. You made me call a fucking ambulance, you're going to the hospital. We need x-rays now. And they even said, no, we can't just stand you up. So the EMT is, she's telling the EMT she broke her hip. So the EMT is touching her in the hip, and she says, ma'am, do you feel that? She says, does that hurt? She goes, no. So she's going higher and higher. So she gets to like around her ribs, and she goes, ah. So the lady goes, did you fall on your side? She says, no, I fell on my butt. I said, does your ass hurt? She goes, no. I said, she didn't break her tailbone. She didn't break her hip or dislocate her hip. The EMT figured maybe it's her ribs. Whatever. Long story short, they take her to the fucking hospital. 3 hours, I'm in the emergency room. 4 hours, whatever the fuck it was. This was Thursday. X-rays, MRIs, all come back negative. But because it was like 11 o'clock, they didn't want to send her home. They admitted her. Matter of fact, when they said they were going to give her a COVID test, she started screaming, oh no, that causes cancer. That's when I got up and walked out of the hospital. Fucking, I left her there. So I figured she'd be there till about Saturday. Saturday comes around, Saturday morning, I call up, I says, but is she being discharged? They said, no, we're waiting on tests. I said, what tests? They said, well, we had to do blood tests and oncology this and that. And I says, she just did all of that shit last week. Didn't you guys call her fucking internist? I says, I could give you the goddamn results. She's fine. Well, just as a precaution. Precaution my balls. She's got fucking Medicare, so they wanted to bang the fuck out of Medicare. Fine, spend the weekend in the hospital. Monday comes. They still haven't dished. Now, every time I gotta go to the hospital, mind you, this is the fuckery that we're dealing with. Okay, you gotta walk in there with a mask. They want to see your vaccination card. Okay, which I gotta forget. Well, I didn't know that when I went there Saturday. I didn't have my card, so I had to sneak in through the fucking emergency room because I wasn't gonna drive all the way back home to get it and go back. You gotta wear a mask, they take your temperature, the whole fucking 9 yards. I mean, it's like getting to fucking Fort Knox, right? So they kept her for a fucking week. Meanwhile, there's nothing wrong with her. All the tests came back negative, everything's fine. Now, she drives the fucking hospital staff crazy. This hospital has her on a blacklist. So she's on the 4th floor. And I go upstairs, I said, well, and she's complaining. She says, the service in this hospital's lousy. I said, this ain't the fucking Hilton. Because she was driving them nuts in the emergency room. Miss, can you get me a pillow? Miss, can you get me a blanket? Can you get me a cup of coffee? A cup of coffee? You're in a fucking emergency room. What's this, room service? She says, I've been hitting the red button. She goes, and they're not coming. I said, what do you want the red button for? I just need the nurse. I said, but what do you need the fucking nurse for? I just need the nurse. Okay, fine. So I go out to the front desk and I say something. So the nurse kind of had a face I said, well, she said she was hitting the button. She says, yeah, we don't really pay attention to her when she she flat out fucking told me. I said, why? She goes, well, she tends to call us for non-medical emergencies. You know what my mother wanted? Fucking ginger ale. Meanwhile, there's 3 cans of ginger ale on the table. I said, what are you bothering him for soda for? I said, right there. No. Take those home so I have them. The little I said, what are you, fucking crazy? I ain't taking shit home. What am I, a delivery, sir? This is what I deal with. They got tired of her on the 4th floor. They kicked her out and they put her on the 1st floor. A doctor came and convinced her to go to rehab. I said, what the fuck is she going to rehab for? There's nothing wrong with her. And he goes, well, she said it hurts. I said, what hurts? So, well, she fell. She said it hurts. I said, well, of course she's going to fucking say. She was telling the EMT her knee hurt. The lady goes, well, did you fall on your knee? I said, no, she's got arthritis there. I said, she's had it for fucking 100 years. This is what I mean. I said, so now she's going to be in fucking rehab a minimum of 2 fucking weeks. On the other side of the island, I got to go. I went there last night. They got to give you a fucking COVID test every time I go in there swabbing my nose. I said, Jesus fucking Christ. I said, I'm going to be in a straitjacket before all of this is done. So bottom line, I'm just running all over the fucking place because I needed extra shit to do this week. Not wrong with her. She's perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, my mother's an Oscar caliber actress. I will say that. So I finally get to the rehab yesterday after she caused a problem with that. She got there about 7:30. I'm going to spare you all the details, but this was, I think you people will find delightful. So I go there. Did you bring my phone? Because my mother grabbed her cell phone before she left for the hospital. She grabbed the wrong phone. she has a new phone, but she doesn't want to throw away the old phone, so she gets confused, even though they look completely different, and grab the old phone. So I had to bring her new cell phone. I says, yeah, I brought your phone. Why? I got to call Maria. I says, who the fuck is Maria? She says, oh, you don't know who she is. I says, yeah, that's why I'm asking, who the fuck is Maria? So she was supposed to come tomorrow. I said, come where? She was supposed to come by the house. I said, for what? She was going to clean for me. Now, I've sent numerous cleaning people over. She's always got a fucking problem with them. And what my mother likes to do is hire these fucking refugees from I don't know where. I don't know where she found this one. And then try to tell me that she cleaned her house. And I said, you can't go from the bathroom to the kitchen without taking a fucking nap for 4 days. I said, you expect me to believe you cleaned everything? I said, I'm hungry. Yeah, this is what I deal with. So she has to call this woman to tell her not to come. I said, well, I think she'll get the idea if she goes by the house and nobody's home. No, I have to call her. I said, all right, fine, fucking call her. We won't tell you. And that's when the performance started. She has to, like, get herself into character. All of a sudden, she starts twisting herself. She's like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then she gets this one, Maria, hi, it's Olivia. I'm in the hospital. I'm very sick. I'm very sick. There's nothing fucking wrong with you. The performance that she gave was almost... If I didn't know better, I would have thought she's dying. I said, are you out of your fucking mind? That's when I left. So yeah, so that's the Olivia saga. So this will be going on for the next fucking couple of weeks. Oh, it's going to be delightful. Okay, and then, just, again, my week has just been non-stop fuckery. In the midst of all of this, every so often I like to remind myself why I don't like humans. And that's a fact. I've said it on the show. Present company excluded. All the people that watch are obviously good people. But for the most part, I detest other people. I don't like humans. And I always say no good deed goes unpunished, but once in a blue moon, sometimes I forget my own fucking rules. Sometimes I have to do these things to remind me that the world sucks. And here's gives you 2 perfect examples. So the other night, on my way home, I was exhausted, I'm hungry. So I stop into one of the joints that I usually hang out in. Some Italian joint. And I'm sitting at the bar. And all the boys are around. And they have this bartender. She's a nice kid. She's a young kid. She's from Honduras. She got here 5 months ago. She speaks 4 words in English. I mean, I gotta use Google Translate to order a fucking drink. Okay? I'm telling you. Every time I walk in there, it's like Telemundo. But she's a nice kid. So I go up to the bar. I sit down. My buddy Frankie's sitting next to me. I order a drink. I'm looking at the menu to figure out what the fuck I want to eat. And a waitress comes up to the bar, and I hear the bartender, who's, like I said, speaks... Her English is so bad that I only understand her in fucking Spanish. I can't understand what the hell she's saying in English. And she says to the waitress, "¿Quieres some cock?" I look up, at Frankie. Did I just fucking hear what I think I just heard? And he's laughing. This poor guy's 100, this guy. He's sideways. I said, did I just fucking hear that right? He goes, yeah. I said... So the waitress goes, no, I'm good. Like, got embarrassed, I guess, and walked away. And I looked at her, I said, what did you just ask her? She said, oh, Tommy, I asked her if she want a cock. I'm like, cock? She goes, sí, mera, she drink a lot of cock. I said, she drink a lot of cock? I said, come over here. I said, what the hell are you trying to say? She says, cock. I said, cock? I said, wait a minute. I said, cock like as in binga? Which I was under the impression was Italian for dick. And she starts laughing. She goes, no, Tommy, no, cock. I said, cock? What the fuck? I said, maybe my Spanish is rusty. I don't know. It's only pen like fucking Telemundo. Meanwhile, Frankie's sideways. Paulie almost fell off his bar stool. I mean, Ciro's fucking half dead. I said, listen to me. I said, So I says, say it slow. She goes, cock. Motherfucker, because she's saying cock all over the fucking restaurant. All of these degenerates are fucking dying. So I have to Google search a picture of a dick. Now I'm going to be getting fucking dick pictures on my Google feed for the next fucking 5 weeks. So I pull up a picture. It wasn't my dick. Relax. So I pull up a random. I says, is this what you're trying to say? And she goes, no, Tommy, cock. I said, cock, like a chicken? So I pull up a picture of a chicken. I'm like that. No, cock. Fucking 20 minutes, this woman saying cock at me. I said, she goes, I said, so I finally go, dígame en español. She goes, Coca-Cola. I mean, we fucking died. I said, wait a minute, you're trying to say Coke? She said, see, cock. I said, no cock. Now I'm screaming no cock in an Italian restaurant. Everybody's fucking dying, okay? I said, listen to me. Coke. She says, cock. She says, care this cock? I said, no, I don't care this cock. I have one. I said, pretty much everyone at the bar probably has one. Maybe not everybody, but no. I said, Coke. Cock. It's like teaching a fucking Mongoloid how to speak. I said, okay, say it with me. Coca-Cola. She goes, Coca-Cola. I said, okay, you can say that. Fine. I said, ka. She goes, ka. I said, oh. She goes, oh. I said, k. She says, k. I said, Coke. Cock. This went on for 35 fucking minutes. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm. I had to teach this fucking immigrant how to say Coke for 35 minutes. I thought I was trapped on a fucking short bus. See what I mean? I had a splitting headache by the time I wasn't even hungry anymore. Everybody was hyperventilating. Cock, she's yelling at me in the middle of a fucking restaurant. Imagine, I go to an Italian restaurant, I speak more Spanish than I do Italian. And it doesn't end there. So yesterday, I'm at fucking Dunkin' Donuts and minding my own goddamn business. I walk in, it's late, the end of the day, I come in after work. And I'm standing online and there's some fucking decrepit old lady who's about fucking 3 feet high at the counter trying to pay for her donuts with change. I says, oh, for fuck's sake. And the poor Indian behind the goddamn glass, he's going, no, it's $3.11. And she goes, this is a quarter? He goes, no. It's $3.11. She goes, but I have a quarter? Like, so she was pretending to be fucking dumb. I said, now, before I mash this old bitch's face into the fucking plexiglass, let me be nice, okay? I said, Sanjay, just put it on my bill. Plus, I mean, we're up to 25 cents. We got $3.11 to go, and we're going to be here all fucking afternoon. I said, just put it on my bill. And he looked at me like, are you sure? Because I guess he figured out, I'm surprised Tommy didn't stuff her in the refrigerator. I said, yeah, it's okay. Go ahead, put it on my bill. Now, when I do these things, I don't do them for gratitude or anything. But, you know, if you're going to say anything, thank you would not be out of line, right? So I go up to the thing, I pay the bill, I get my coffee, she takes her donuts, and she looks at me and she goes, you just did that because you didn't feel like waiting. You imagine this fucking old cunt? I says, you're goddamn right, I didn't feel like waiting. I says, who the hell pays for donuts and change? Imagine, I swear to God, no good deed goes up. I wanted to pour hot coffee on this bitch and kick her into oncoming traffic, this old fucking cunt. Son of a bitch. This is what I mean. Don't be nice to. This is why I'm a miserable prick all the time. 1 week out of the year, I was nice to 2 people. I got a fucking aneurysm and I almost murdered an old person. Oh God, Jesus, it's been a week. I'm gonna tell you, it's been a week. But before we dive into today's show, I also want to throw a big birthday shout out to one of my besties, Teresa, who's a huge fan of the show. I've mentioned her before on the show. So, Teresa, happy birthday, sweetheart. So, strap in, kids. Cocks, good deeds, and burnt dicks. Hold on to something. It's going to be a rough one. So, your COVID special report. Well, you know, last week I said Philadelphia installed that mask mandate. Well, this week they're lifting it. I guess the people of Philadelphia weren't too happy about it. Also, speaking of lifting things, the mask travel mandate was lifted for airlines on Monday. Okay? And people couldn't have been fucking happier. They're pulling their masks off. They're taking selfies on a plane, maskless. It's nice. And all these fucking liberals are virtue signaling. I'm going to keep wearing my mask. Because you're a fucking momo. That's why. That's how you know someone's a liberal. You see them walking around in a fucking mask, punch them in the nose. So, the Department of Justice is appealing the ruling, which this is what fucking... what the fuck is the Department of Justice concerned about fucking mask rules on an airplane? It's 3 years now, okay? It's 3 fucking years we're wearing masks. COVID's done, okay? If cases go up, they're not fucking lethal. The masks don't work. Science has fucking proved it. There's plenty of research that says they don't fucking work. Okay, all it is a fucking security blanket, not medical misinformation. All right, they don't work. What's the difference? If everyone's vaccinated, what's the fucking difference? If you want to wear a fucking mask on a plane, go ahead. If you don't, it shouldn't be forced upon. Would all you fucking pay to fly on an airplane? If I want to wear a fucking G-string on my head, I should have no problem doing that. So, the Department of Justice is fucking appealing the ruling. I mean, don't these motherfuckers have anything more important to do? Like, I don't know, investigate Biden and his son's alleged foreign money laundering scheme. Maybe look into the Biden laptop a little bit. Go after Hillary Clinton for fucking committing treason. Maybe do that if you're busy, if you're bored. And that fucking slob up in Albany, Hochul, is keeping the mandate in New York for all transit. So, even though... federally, you don't have to wear one on a fucking plane. Some airlines, I think, are keeping a mask mandate just as a proprietary one. Fuck them, just don't fly those airlines. This shitbag governor that we got, second stringer came off the bench. She wants to keep the mandate in New York for all transit. So Amtrak, subway, bus, whatever, railroad, which, is convenient for the next time you get attacked on a subway or some psychopath wants to have a fucking shooting spree in the middle of the week. It makes it more difficult to identify them. It's fun. It's like a game. Okay? I mean, everybody in New York City is currently conveniently dressed for a fucking mugging or a raping. That's nice. Masks. I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with people. I really don't. Holy shit with these masks. Especially when they're walking around outside. What kind of mental deficiency are you suffering from? All right, kids. Get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express into mayhem and fuckery. Open! Woo-hoo! Crazy train's leaving the station. First stop, New York. So you've all heard about that Jewish broad. I think she was Israeli. Or Sola Gal. That got killed in Forest Hills on the Saturday before Easter Sunday. So, I heard about this, right? So apparently, this is what I initially heard. So this woman was found stabbed over 50 fucking times in a duffel bag. Okay, and the killer had sent a text message to the husband who was out of town with their oldest son looking at colleges. And he sent a text message that says, "Your wife had sent me to prison a long time ago, and I'm back now, and don't call the police, otherwise I'm going to kill your whole family." But, so imagine getting a fucking text message like this. So I hear this, and I'm like, I don't know. Something don't feel right. Because first of all, the text message came from the wife's phone to the husband. How would the killer know the husband's name? I mean, nobody lists their spouse in their phone as husband or wife. I mean, usually. So there's that. I said, something ain't right. She had to know the guy. And there were no signs of forced entry. So I don't understand. And there was no signs of a sexual attack. So something didn't sit right with me, and my deductive reasoning is fucking spot on. So, as this week unfurled, the story unraveled a little bit more. And it turns out that your boy is not too shabby as a detective. Okay, so it turns out he did know her. It was her 44-year-old handyman, David Bonolo, who she was banging for the last couple of years. Okay, here's a fun fact. He was here illegally from Mexico. Not only was he younger than her, she was in her 50s. He had a thing for, Israeli cougars. Okay, he was an illegal. I guess Trump wasn't wrong. Um, so this was the handyman. So she would have the guy come in and do work, and who's fucking paying for it? The schmuck husbands. This guy must really feel like a fucking mama little cry. He's paying this fucking guy to do work at his house, and he's fucking banging his wife too. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. Because, you get a text message like that, you're thinking, oh my God, because her 13-year-old son was home too. So he had the oldest one, but they had a third. So, you're thinking all kinds of fucking things. Oh my God, my wife, my kid, whatever. You race home from wherever the fuck. And this is what he comes home to. So, now, if you're wondering how the cops found him, they didn't. The guy had to turn himself in. I don't understand. I guess, when all this BLM shit happened and everybody was screaming to defund the police, all the detectives fucking left New York. Okay? Maybe there's no forensic detectives anymore. I don't understand. They couldn't find the fucking shooter in the subway. The only straight guy in the West Village, they couldn't find him. And they couldn't find this guy who was so sloppy. He stuffed her in a fucking, rolling duffel bag, the kid's hockey bag, and then wheeled it down the street. So there was a blood trail coming out of the house, down the driveway, all the way down the street, and he left the body in a nearby park in Forest Hills. And then he left his jacket there. They didn't fucking do any DNA or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, there was video of her walking into the house with the guy. So clearly she knew him. And didn't look like she was being forced in. Like they were walking kind of like they were friendly. You know what I mean? Wait, gets better. So, like I said, the guy called up and turned himself in. The reason for this attack was because she broke up with him. Apparently she was also, according to the news, she was also texting 4 other men. Putana, right? So I guess she was done with this guy, so she broke up with him. He went fucking crazy. He stabbed her over 50 times, stuffed her in a fucking hockey bag, left her body in the park. Okay? And like I said, her 13-year-old son was upstairs when this all happened. And this fucking kid didn't hear a goddamn thing. See, this is what I mean about these kids. They got their fucking heads in these video games, and they're completely fucking useless. Okay? So you imagine this shit? You're upstairs, jerking off, playing video games. Your mother's getting hacked to pieces downstairs by some psycho from Mexico. Okay? Because she got tired of him. She's banging 4 other guys. I guess he won't be playing Grand Theft Auto anymore. So the moral of the story here is, if you're going to break up with an Hispanic, do it through text message. At least you won't get stabbed. Next stop, New Jersey. Okay, I love stories like this. They delight me so much. So a couple from Toto in New Jersey is suing Dunkin' Donuts because her husband spilled a hot cup of coffee on his crotch and burnt his entire dick. So they go to the drive-thru. And I always say this about these new fucking Dunkin' Donuts cups, these paper cups. They're like chintzy. That's why I always use one of those Yeti things when I get coffee, because I have a grip like a fucking gorilla. As soon as I grab it, I'm afraid I'm gonna the cup's gonna explode. And I always pour it in one of those metal cups because I can't break those. So they go through to save the environment, they make the fucking cup so thin that if you grab it, the top pops right off. So I don't think it's totally this guy's fault. So they go through the drive-thru. They're fucking yuppies, and they get their coffee. And I guess he goes to, I don't know what, he grabbed it. And the fucking cup exploded. It fell on him. And it now listen, okay, it's easy to say, but when you burn yourself, especially if you're fucking dropping hot coffee on your junk, the first thing you do is rip your pants off. Okay, because it's going to stay there and burn. So this guy, I don't know what the fuck, he went into panic mode, whatever. So he's got a burnt dick. So he's suing for his medical bills and injuries, and the wife is suing for loss of consortium and comfort because he couldn't fuck her. His dick's malfunctioning. That's an actual legal case. You could do that. That happened at McDonald's. Okay? The cup malfunctions, you could sue. Your spouse could sue for loss of consortium. You can't fulfill your marital duties. This next story delighted me too. So next stop, Detroit, Michigan. So a kid brings margaritas to kindergarten for snack and then starts passing them out to the kids. So she grabs a bottle of Cuervo ready-made margarita. So it's got booze in it. And she knew exactly what the fuck it was, too. It wasn't like she thought it was juice. She knew what it was, so she grabbed it, threw it in her backpack. Kindergarten kid. Goes to school. Snack time rolls around. She starts doling out the fucking margarita. She's giving it to people, putting it in cups. And the kids think it's fucking juice. And they're drinking it, and she tells one kid, there's liquor in this cup. There's liquor in this cup. I got this in my pants bar. So the kid goes up and rats her after the teacher and goes, so-and-so said, I'm not saying the names because they're children. She goes, so-and-so said that there's liquor in here. So the teacher looked at her like she was fucking a little cuckoo, because kids say stupid shit. And then couple other kids went up to the teacher and told them that they felt woozy. Anyway, she got the whole fucking class bombed. This is probably one hell of a kid, I gotta tell you. Now, nobody died from alcohol poisoning. Everybody was fine. They just had their first taste of tequila. Tequila is the star of the show today, I'm telling you. Okay, so, This actually reminds me of when I was a kid, the first time I ever got drunk. I think I was about 3 or 4 years old. My grandmother used to make grappa in the basement, which, for those that don't know, that's like Guinea moonshine. There's two kinds. There's the red, which it's pleasant, and then there's the white, which you could kickstart a fucking Buick with it. It's like ethanol. So to absorb some of the alcohol in that, she would soak peaches in it. Sicilians, we love peaches. But see, I used to have this thing for canned peaches when I was a kid. Still do. So I come in from outside. I was outside playing, and I see this bowl of peaches on the table, and I think, oh, canned peaches. So I grab a fork, and I grab one, and I glom it. Meanwhile, this thing was soaking in fucking 200 proof grappa for an hour. All I remember was the kitchen spinning. And then my father trying to pour espresso down my throat. True story. Been drunk ever since. Okay, next stop, Minnesota. So General Mills had to issue a recall because Lucky Charms was making people violently sick. Thousands of people complained that after eating the cereal, they had nausea and violent diarrhea. Frosted Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious. Oh look, green clovers, red balloons, and that's a turd. Imagine. And I love Lucky Charms. No wonder I couldn't find any. Okay, kids, next stop, Memphis, Tennessee. So, the Minnesota Timberwolves were playing the Memphis Grizzlies the other night. And another fucking protester decided to make their presence known. I told you last week, some dummy tried to glue herself to the floor because she was protesting the fact that the majority owner of the Timberwolves is Glenn Taylor's Chicken Farms. Well, this other fucking Looney Tune decided that she was going to chain herself to the basket. What the fuck? These bitches really don't like chicken. I don't get it. You know how you make this stop? It's very simple. The next time somebody wants to attach themselves to something, you chain them to a folding chair, and then you begin beating them savagely with a raw chicken. Okay? In public. You do this at the halftime. I'm telling you, more people will watch the fucking halftime than the goddamn game. You know the sound it makes when you start beating someone with a piece of raw chicken? I one time beat up a guy in a fucking fish market with a bag full of mussel shells because I got food poisoning from him. So I would imagine the chicken makes a more hilarious sound. And the last story, on the last stop on the crazy train, San Francisco. So it's on a Florida-bound flight from San Francisco. Mike Tyson, who I gotta say is my spirit animal, punched the fuck out of some pain in the ass on a plane. Now, when I saw this, I thought this was just fucking pure magic. Okay, listen, I get it. Okay, believe me, if there's anybody that can sympathize with Iron Mike on this, it's definitely me. Before China broke everything, I used to travel a lot. And I used to travel extensively by plane. And it's no secret, I fucking hate air travel. I don't like airplanes. I don't like airports. I don't like traveling by airplane. I don't like other people on the airplane. It matter every fucking time I get on a plane, it doesn't matter. It's always like one or three people that I get stuck with. I either get stuck with the Asian that smells like fried rice, and I gotta smell that the whole fucking ride, or I get some fucking holy roll that all she wants to do is pray out loud and talk to me about Jesus. You want to take the fucking Bible and crack her across the teeth on my favorite. I get the fucking 400-pound guy that's a mouth breather. He's got his arms resting on his rolls, his elbows hitting me in the ear. It sounds like a fucking horse in labor. So, yeah, I get it. I can understand you're already agitated even just thinking about it, right? So here's what happened. I guess he's sitting in first class because Mike had like one of those, like, I guess it's like a pod? I don't know. It's like a first, but it's like almost like a chaise lounge. Like, so he was sitting with his back facing the forward, the front of the plane. So I don't know if this kid was sitting like right behind him this way or that way or how it was, but fucking trust fund baby, some fucking wimpy little fuck face that never worked a day in his life, used daddy's credit card to book the flight, whatever. So get on the plane. The kid right away recognizes Mike Tyson. So Mike was gracious, he took a selfie with the guy, shook his hand, and then sits down. And this kid, because he was probably fucking stoned out, wouldn't leave him alone. Keeps like talking in his ear and bothering him. Mike's going, hey man, chill, because this is a long flight, man. Just chill out. I just want to sit here, I just want to relax, I want to meditate, I got, just chill, leave me alone. He's a celebrity, but I mean, he's entitled to his privacy. Well, this fucking kid wouldn't stop bothering him. So, I'm sure Mike warned him once, warned him twice, and the third time, well, go to the videotape, watch what happened.
Hey. Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Mike beat the shit out of him. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to do this to somebody. Not just on a plane. And people go, oh, he shouldn't have done that. He's a professional boxer. No, the kid should have left him the fuck alone. It's not Mike's fault. Okay, the kid's got bad upbringing. All right, and you know what? Tyson took it easy on the guy. Listen, let me tell you something. I've thrown hands before. I used to fight. I used to box. I'm not delusional to think that if I went nose to nose with Mike Tyson, I would stand, anything shortly. I'd last longer than fucking 4 seconds. I mean, I'd square off with him if I was holding a fucking 2x4. Like, there's not many people I wouldn't fuck with. That's definitely one guy I would not fuck with. So when the guy tells you, leave me alone, yeah, it's very simple. Leave him alone. I mean, if he would have hit him square and he didn't pull any punches, he would have caved in the kid's face. Instead, he just threw the kid a beating. Good for you, Mike. There you go, man. Salud. That is really delightful. All right, kids, your sports update. So, Major League Baseball, Yankees play the Guardians tonight at 7:05. Oh, wait, you're probably wondering, who the fuck are the Guardians? Well, remember last year when everybody was, we have to be diverse and woke. Well, the Cleveland Indians figured that their name was racist. and they changed it, and they changed it to the Guardians. So I hope they fucking lose just for that. But I don't know, the way the Yankees are playing, I'm not even going to dive. You know what? I have enough right now to keep me occupied that I haven't really focused too much on baseball. Like, I pay attention to it. I know it's there. But, you got basketball playoffs happening. The Nets are in it. The Bulls are in it. So that's keeping me, that's drawing my attention. Plus, there's hockey. The Rangers are, first place. They clinched a playoff spot. So that'll have my attention for a while. But when that all goes away, oh, good Lord, God help us. But yeah, the Yankees are not playing very well at all. But they're playing the former Indians tonight at 7:05. Mets play the Diamondbacks tonight at 9:40. And the Phillies are playing the Brewers at 7:05. NHL Rangers, who kicked the shit out of the Islanders last night. They're playing the Bruins Saturday at 3. And the Islanders are playing the Sabres Saturday at 12:30. NBA playoffs. This is the only time of the year I really focus on basketball. I mean, I pay attention to it, but I won't really sit there and watch a game usually. Or playoff time, especially when my teams are in it. Yeah, I watch. After they get blown out, I don't give a fuck. So Nets are playing the Celtics Saturday at 7:30. This is Game 3. Boston leads the series 2-0. I told you the Nets were not going to get past the Celtics. Bulls play the Bucks tonight at 8:30 and Sunday at 1. And the Bulls and the Bucks have the series tied, which I'm a little surprised at, but I'm sure that isn't going to last very long. What the fuck is that? We're going to talk about midgephiliacs. What is a midgephiliac? You're probably wondering. I'll tell you. You're looking at one. It's someone who's completely and totally obsessed with midgets. Someone who sees a midget and instantly wants to capture it and hang it on a wall. Okay? Like, when I see a midget, it makes my day so much better. That's how you know you're having a good day. It's like somebody up there going, let them see a midget. It'll keep them excited. And I know. Everyone goes, oh, you got a fat thing midget. They don't like that. Fuck them. The alternatives are little people, which I told you is condescending, and dwarf, which I don't even think you could say that anymore because it's a fairy tale creature, and I think it has to do with the alphabet community now. I don't even fucking know. So to me, midget sounds tough. But you know something? If I need to come up with an alternate, I like the way they say midget in Spanish. It's inana. It actually sounds cute, right? Mira, un inana. Atrápalo! All right, kids. On Right or Racist, we have I picked a topic that was apropos with today. No, it's not about tequila, but I do have some more good news about tequila coming up. But on Right or Racist, 9 out of 10 Americans are offended by the NFL team named the Redskins and the MLB team named the Indians, per a 2016 Washington Post poll. Well, that's racist. It's the exact opposite, as a matter of fact. 9 out of 10 were not offended. Clearly, Native Americans are not pansies like the rest of you sissy snowflake liberal fuckfaces. Okay? All right, kids, your PSA. Well, because today's beautiful weather, I'd like to start today's PSA with a message from the Friday wrap-up. At all. So, as I said, there's a reason why I chose tequila as today's libation. I read it on. See, your boy does a lot of fucking research for you. Yeah, I'm not just flopping fucking turkeys over here. This show doesn't just come together in 5 minutes. Okay? There's writing that's done. There's research that's done. There's a lot of shit that goes into this show. Okay? It's educational, it's entertaining, and it's even fucking scientific. Look at that. So, I read an article. Tequila causes weight loss. How about that? So extensive scientific research has proved that regular consumption of tequila does in fact contribute to weight loss. Now that's my kind of science, baby, and just in time for summer. You're welcome. So, it's not instantaneous, like you're not going to just drink some tequila and watch your waistline shrink. However, over time, the agave in the tequila helps cut down dietary fat, and it decreases unwanted cholesterol. It's also a good source of fiber, so it's not just an upper, it's a weight loss management tool. Not only does it make your clothes fall off, but it'll help you take a shit. So put down that vodka and grab you some good tequila and stay COVID-less, kids. No mask, don't ask, haters can kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? That's been your Friday wrap-up, and I'll see you when I see you.